Waiting for it to go live, and there it is. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is War Commander Unshackled, and we are live with the latest and greatest news with the current panel. Some people will drop out beforehand, so we'll go ahead and we will kick off and introduce the panel. Of course, all the way to the left is, of course, Darby Phoenix, the current moderator. I've got to throw that in there just for shits and giggles. We have the Dutchman himself. We have the banana, Mr. Fear the Peel. We have the immortal Godscope. Well, no, he's not immortal. The legendary Godscope, even though he's a cunt. We have the lovely Lady Warrior. We have Wolfie the Brat. And, of course, the one, the only, myself, the immortal, the indomitable Dr. Phil. And, of course, this is one of these shows where I am going to step in and take hold of things where other people, the current producers, can't, where there's a lot of content to go through, and I can do it in ways that other people can't, basically. It's one of those things, and my ego will quite happily take the lead on that one. And Dobber has reminded me, the crazy, wild-eyed moderator, Dobber Phoenix, will do just nicely, and that's just fine by me. So we'll go right ahead, and we will dive straight into the downtime and release notes. That's 2 days late, might I add.
Yeah.
2 days late, but later than never.
And I think somebody's going to end up staying a little late for this one. So the current changes and fixes are applied for Friday, the 27th of October. Nightmare of Resurrection. That's all story-based crap there. The skies have darkened, the dead walk the earth, and all you men and women quake in fear. A few and fights, blah, 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 blah. Resurrection is back, more terrifying than ever. Return to the fields for double XP. And dramatically improved prizes. See here for the details, which we already went through that on Wednesday night, and I'm not going through it again. Zombie Onslaught has returned. You have one attempt to defeat the waves of the ruthless undead, with hundreds of single-use zombies up for grabs. And, of course, we'll go through that one in a minute. Building repair reductions. Prior to the update, repairing your buildings in bulk was cheaper than repairing them individually. In order to standardize repairs, we've changed the in-game logic so that repairs will always cost the same, regardless of whether you repair your buildings one at a time, in groups, or all at once.
Wait, this game
at the same time, we've dramatically reduced building repair costs across the board. On average, you should see a 50% reduction when repairing buildings, both in terms of time and gold. If you repair your base with gold, unless it's singular things like your CC or a couple of bunkers, if somebody gives you a prep, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're a fucking lunatic.
That too. And the current only bug fixes in the changes and fixes for this week is, in some cases, units would get stuck in their firing animation as they switch targets, despite not actually firing. This has been corrected. So I'm not going to see the jug flash barrel anymore, which kind of helped. It told me I was in range.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
I'll miss that.
Once I got used to it, then it was really nice.
Go straight ahead and dive into the Zombie Onslaught, which, of course, is Onslaught rules. So the base will repair, but your base defenders are free. It is not attrition. It is single-based waves only. So you only get one shot at doing a wave. If your CC gets cloud, you got to repair it and try again.
Boy, my chaplains are going to do good.
So we have wave 5, of course, a Spartan. One Spartan? That's a bit shit.
Yeah, it is.
I would expect at least 2 or 3 or something like that, but a Spartan and 1,000 medals. If you hit wave 10, you get an Acolyte and 1,000,000 thorium. 15, 5 libs, 5,000,000 thorium and 2,000 medals. 20, the Fire Tech bundle for the Hammer, Acolyte, and Spartan ZK. And 13, Vanquisher Undead Armor. If you hit 25, you get a reanimation suit. 20 single-use zombies, 10,000,000 thorium and 5,000 medals. Level 30, 1 Chaplain and a Fire Tech bundle, Hammer, Acolytes, and Spartan ZKs. If you hit 35, you get the Zombie Zerum bundle for the Acolyte, Libs, and Spartan ZK for 20,000,000 thorium. Hit wave 40, get the Fire Tech bundle for the Bonesword Valiant and Apollo, and 40,000 medals.
Wow.
If you hit wave 45, you get the Toxic Offender G1 bundle for the Acolyte, Lib, and Spartan ZK. And if you hit wave 50, which is supposed to be the extreme difficulty, you get a Juggernaut Warpaint. Now, I haven't seen what that Juggernaut Warpaint is, and nobody's provided any pictures of it, which I would encourage CM Chris to go and do. And following the CM note, fire tech and fire damage units are strongly encouraged.
Okay.
Now, there is a bug with the technical. The technical doesn't currently do true fire damage with the Burning Man component. So there's that to consider. So before I move into the content roadmap for November, has anyone got any comments?
Nope.
Yes, I think the fireman tech should be fixed before the event starts.
That too.
Well, good luck with that.
Should be.
Well,
Hopefully.
if it's not in this update, it's not going to get fixed until next week.
No.
Just a disclaimer, he's saying that should as hopeful and not actually like, yeah, it is.
Well, wrong thinker did say in a post somewhere that it should be fixed before the start of this event, the Nightmare event.
Then it may have been done stealthily and not been told because it wasn't in the update notes. And if it's not in the update notes, it's a little iffy.
Yeah. But still.
Only one way to find out. Stay tuned for Saturday show.
There will be a Saturday show. I will be running
Double testing out for
this
us.
is an event.
I will gladly test it out for science.
For science!
Exactly. Well, for what other cause shall we test but science?
I say that extremely difficult wave. I think they're going to send like 5, possibly 10 Nemesis zombies at you. Just be a cunt, really.
As long as there's not like 600 spitters like that last few waves.
There probably will be. And there'll be that new Nightmare zombie thing.
File your base defenders. Because your defenders will be free.
Yep.
Hey,
Load it
hey
up.
guys.
Hello,
up,
champ.
Yeah, well, sorry for dropping in late. I just have a really quick question for you guys.
What's the question?
Purple.
So, if you have a base buff, right, for Sentinels, Survivors, Hades, whatnot,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
you have a zombifier in one of your tombs.
A
So,
zombie
say
is
you're
the last stand defender. If you've
No,
got a
say-
zombie fire.
well, say you get attacked by another player, you
Mhm.
kill one of his tombs, it turns to a zombie. Do you still have the buff?
Now, if I remember rightly, there was a post about this about a week or so ago. Zombies created by the zombifier are considered last stand defenders, and last stand defenders do not change your buff.
Okay. That might be worth testing.
It is worth testing, but that's all I know.
Okay. Oh, to interrupt like that, I mean to be rude.
It's a good question.
No,
All right.
I have a quick question about the jug war paint. Was there any other jug war paint before that I'm unaware of, maybe?
No.
Then if you look in the workshop, I'm looking there now, it's called Death Machine and it's black. Someone just put it in the side chat.
Yes.
I might. If somebody could go load the game, so I don't have to, that'd be great.
I can do that.
I can.
Here, hold on just a second. Let me bring up screen share.
Yep, war paint. Oh man, that does look good. That does look
There,
good.
can you see? There it is.
That does.
Doesn't that look sweet? I like
amazing.
it. That's
That does look
hot.
very
I like
nice.
it. Yeah, it does. Anyway,
Oh,
Doc,
and they
I'll
pulled
see if I can
the
blow it up
machine.
for you.
If you can get a blown up version of it, that'd be great. But while Dubba does that,
and I'll stop screen sharing.
Straight into the November content calendar for this month. Now, I've had a look at this already, and there's some good stuff in here. Okay, October 31st, again, Zombie Onslaught, of course, and the Elite and Omega and the Standard Jug bases are going to spawn. Downtime for November 1st on the release notes. Raid update 0.5. Titan and Omega bases for the Elite and Omega Titan. The Elite and Omega Sandstorm bases are out as well. November the 2nd, the Intel bases resume normal spawning cadence. Now, there was a lot of complaints about the Intel being not spawning on Thursday, and it actually started to spawn after the update tonight. We were going to. I was debating whether to keep it hush hush or not, but everyone needs Intel if you're going to run raid boosts for the current event, and I would suggest to go out and get it done now.
They already pulled them off the map
I was gonna say they're pulled.
They pulled them.
already.
What we're looking at, Intel bases. Let me see.
Hold on. We have we have an update. I'm gonna see if I can share. Continue on the show. I will ask though.
You go do what you need to do. November 3rd, brand new Shadow Ops 14, Phase 1, and the Corpus token bases. November 5th, Elite and Omega Jug. Oh no, that's just Omega Jug. All right. Elite and Omega Titan, Elite and Omega Sandstorm for November the 5th. And November the 6th, we've got War Dog bases. Brand new base for the War Dog. So if you missed out on them, you can go and get some more along with War Dog Tech by the sounds of it. And again, those will work in the same way the others have done. You get one War Dog for your first base and then Tech for the considering bases after that. A world map Sake space.
Yes.
I've been back into the game for about 18 months and I have not seen a Sake space.
Oh man, Sarkis is so
I think my
Best
Sarkis.
unit.
I think he's in the armory or somewhere. Maybe I deleted him. I don't know.
I deleted mine. He's level 20.
I don't know.
Go Dubba.
Well, we're still reviewing the thing, but the picture I was able to blow it up, but it's not super like it's kind of pixelated, but I mean it'll work. You can still kind of see the outline. It'll be fine for YouTube though. So in about 5 seconds, check your PM, and then
I'll get that done then. For November the 6th, of course, again, the War Dog base, the Sentinel token base, the Sarkis base, and the Standard Elite, the Jug Standard and Elite bases will be out. November the 8th, again, downtime and release. Gear Star update. Again, I said a couple of days ago, November the 8th will be the Gear Star update. November the 8th is exactly when it's going to be. Survivor token bases, technical bonus token bases, and the Jug Omega bases will spawn again on November the 8th. November the 10th, another phase of Shadow Ops. Even though it's got phase 1, it's it's a bit of a weird one because now they talk about phases, but there's the rounds within the phases, and it's I wish they just do week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be simple to do. But November the 12th is something that a lot of people have been waiting for, including myself, with the new Herald Standard, Elite, and Omega base spawn.
Woohoo!
It's a little late, and it's gone past the month target that was set at the beginning of October. But I guess I'll take it, and that will spawn on Sunday, November the 12th. November the 13th, again, the War Dog bases are out, the Sentinel token bases are out again, and the Growler base, as well as the Standard Jug and Elite bases.
They're wearing us out with these Jug bases.
They want people to get the Jug.
Jug bases.
You know what? You know what I haven't seen? Omega Phantom bases.
Yeah, they need to come out so people who bought the Omega Phantom can get the tech.
Yeah, that would be
for some
nice.
reason, you spent $25 on an Omega Phantom with no damn tech.
Exactly.
I did it.
Sorry, I'm pissed off now because I'm under attack and trying to get into the game for the last 20 fucking minutes.
Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. November 15th, again, Survivor token bases spawn, the technical token bases spawn, and again, the Omega Jug base. November the 16th, Invasion. November the 17th, again, Shadow Ops and the Corpus token base.
19th.
And again, November the 19th. Remember the 2 dates that you need to remember more than anything else is November the 12th and November the 19th to the Herald bases. Both the normal Herald, the Elite Herald, and the Omega Herald parts. November the 20th, War Dog bases, Sentinel token bases, the BFGX Legacy Unique base. That's a bit of a long-winded fucking title.
You gotta help me with that.
Wait a second. Legacy?
Legacy Unique.
Oh, BFGX is considered Legacy now.
Holy shit.
Again, on the Standard and Elite Jug.
Shout out
What?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, shout out to Data King. I used my BFGX in the last event, and it worked surprisingly well against the zombies.
All right.
It wasn't
Never
great.
built one.
Don't get me wrong. It wasn't no hammers with fire tech, but it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, but if you screwed up in those bases with that kind of
It was game
unit,
the fuck
you're
over.
talking about hours and
Oh.
hours of damage.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, I did the good old DEA, but it was BFGX EA.
Well, I've never heard it called that before, but alrighty then.
First time for everything.
We'll move to
23rd.
November 22nd. Survivor token bases, again, technical toner bases, and the Omega Jug base again. November 23rd, which is a little late in November, so you've got a good 4 weeks until the next main event. Nightmare's considered a smaller one in comparison. And of course, again, November the 29th, which is the downtime release, and raid update V.6.
It's probably more Relic Tech released there,
More
I would say.
than likely. Again, CM notes, event and world map spawn durations will vary. Make sure to sign in regularly, blah, 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 blah. Regular bases will continue as they have in the past, includes Intel, CB bases, Bastion bases, and Thorium bases, Metalloy bases, etc., etc., etc. And nobody to this date has told me what a CB base is.
Well, yeah, what
Because
the
it isn't
hell is
Bastion.
CB? Nope.
It isn't a boss base. It's not an Intel base. It's not a raid base. It's not a Thorium base.
CB. Somebody actually had a really good, like, what it could be. I forget what they said it was.
CB base.
When's the CB base coming out?
It doesn't say.
I have something in mind, but it's not appropriate for the show.
And that right there, I mean, it is all pixelated because we're going through an image that's actually tiny and Dobber's blown it up for me, which I appreciate.
Here's a suggestion for anyone viewing this: kind of squint your eyes and like tilt your head to the right a little bit, and then it'll look a little better.
It's black.
Oh, lovely.
The jug is back. It's black.
Oh, is that the war paint?
That will be the war paint for the jug.
Oh, it does look like a normal jug.
Yeah. Sparky said something about challenge bases, CB base challenge bases, maybe.
Well,
I
that would be
don't know what
a
challenge
challenge-based
bases would be.
That would be the idiosyncrasy would be ridiculous there because then you've got challenge bases in the way it is worded.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, does it?
It does not.
Oh, and for those of you that are U.S. based, the next event is Thanksgiving weekend. So if you happen to have the Friday after off, then there you go.
You can play the event. and
We're
still
gonna be
spend
talking turkey. Me.
I'll be cooking my ass off on Thursday, so there'll be no event for me.
Wait, it was the music about reading the Herald bases. Somebody, as soon as I posted that up, somebody commented on me, has anyone got a video for the Herald base? These bases have not been out before. They are brand new. No one's going to see a video for the base until they actually come out. And one of the first people that will have a video out for the base
will be Steady. Yeah, Steady will probably do one. Now, if they're like the 180 bases that we had in the event when we had to get them, then actually, if you have a regular, even if you have an elite Herald, you can do them. You'll have to coin your ass off to get it, but you can do them.
Don't even have to coin it.
Because that's how I did mine.
No, I have a very special op for that.
Anton Airlines.
OPT up.
It's called OPT.
Best op there is.
Well, you've got
OPT. What is OPT? Okay, tell me.
Other people's tunes.
Which is other people's tunes. I have Anton Airline.
Oh.
And I have the incredibly rare fuck you op.
Oh.
And the even rarer wild eyed up.
Oh, that
Oh, no,
one,
he
I
has-
haven't seen a wild-eyed dobber op in a long time.
But,
Hey.
but there's even a rarer one. There's a rarer one than Daba, and that's the Lady Warrior op. And Doc, if you PM me where you're at, I'll come help.
There's a real common
And I'll coin to help you. I don't care.
There's a real
Just
common
'cause I'm
one.
lucky
It's called
to
the
do that.
Godscope op, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because it costs 50 gold to activate it.
And it
Yeah.
dances around.
Yeah, we know.
It's not worth it.
Doc can tell us what the Godscope op is called because I won't say that word.
I would rather use the Bacon Brigade.
Yeah, Doc can say what that op really is.
Yeah, Bacon Brigade gives you about 4 hours less repair time than the Godscope op does.
I got the best.
It doesn't flatten your base for the privilege.
I got the best op. It's called stealing it from an opponent. Someone put it on YouTube.
Debo, you're not a nobody. You just got in too late, and the show's fucking.
I've got good news. Good news. Upon further review, the Intel bases should be getting re-released, and they should be ending at midnight kickside time. So go do what you got to do. You can thank your friendly moderators with an S, not me, but all of us collectively, and the game team for getting this together.
Good job, fuckers.
Okay, someone just posted on my comment.
Hey, Doc. Debo was upset because you didn't mention his op. Not because he's not on the show, because you didn't mention his op.
That's because that one's non-existent.
No,
one's non-existent.
Let me finish. One doesn't talk about the Debo op. The Debo op is highly secretive.
Ooh, that's why what is.
It's one of those rounds. It only happens in the morning because he pisses excellence in.
Hell yeah. I understand that reference and I appreciate it.
I understood that reference.
I don't understand anything.
Getting a Debo in a chat. Now those two bastards were running Omega Jug Parts for me, and they ran them that fast I couldn't keep up with them.
That's why you don't activate two ops at the same time, jackass.
I shit you not. Well, Jack was doing it, and I was perfectly fine. And then Debo must have come home and got in the hangout. It's like, oh, we're doing Omega Jug bases. Well, I'll get right on that. It's fucking bang, 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 bang. And I'm like in 4 different places at once trying to figure out which fucking motherfucker hit what base.
And then I come home and I'm done. And he's like,
no, I don't need any more help.
Keep up.
I have enough trouble keeping up with those two bastards.
I had the best job. I activated Fear the Pills.
You guys want to see
got my
something
Mega Jug Parts like that.
Yeah,
I have to say, I've been lucky. I've been the beneficiary of the Anton Finds app, and
I can say Fear the Pill is a fucking crazy man on them.
He is a machine. He is an absolute machine. What?
Everything else he sucks at, but the jug bases he's pretty good at.
Let's face it, the only other thing he's good at is what we cannot mention on the show.
Yeah, but he can,
even mentioning it's going to get you a smack.
Yeah,
my mouse died and I couldn't fucking unmute myself. Then I realized
Alrighty. So,
hey, tell Debo he can get on the show. I'm going to hop off, guys. I'm going to go eat some dinner. Take care, everybody.
You guys
want
to see something funny,
thanks for coming
you don't
on.
have to see it. You don't have to present me, but if you want to look at my screen and see something real funny.
Oh no.
Oh, I gotta see this go.
Well, before we go, I want to go look at this for a laugh. So you're gonna all see it anyway. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
I should show you the one where I got
insane, dude.
It gets better.
What were you doing?
Oh my god.
This is me hitting this clown online fully defended.
Who are you hitting?
That is
some dickhead. This dude, he made the very, very rare and very elite shit list of Godscope. This is him hitting my tunes I have around my base. This one's particularly funny.
I hate seeing these idiots fucking throwing out all their fucking zombies.
I got Jack to post his logs from the guy who hit his zombie platoons.
Yes, those logs were funny.
Hilarious.
Yes, those.
Here's attack number 1, 9%, loses 40 Omega Phantom. Now, this attack is offline. This is about 3 a.m. my time, so I'm off in the mountains with fucking Selena Gomez at this point. I'm dead asleep. So there's the first attack by a Phantom. Here's the second attack, and this is where it gets awesome.
Oh my god.
2 technicals, 11 phalanx, 10 Spartan ZKs, 12 toxic offenders, Herald.
With a Herald and a Dante. Oh my.
And now if
normal
that
Dante.
itself If that itself was not enough of a motivation to say, you know what, I should probably stop, he did it again. And granted to him, he actually got my base fully flat on the third offline hit. Look at this. Look at what fucking
6 elite mega tank. Did
you
he
got flat by mega tanks.
Look, he had a mega up.
It's official.
You got free by elite. You got
You guys have
by a
seen
guy
it.
using elite mega tanks. Scrap your.
Gunscope is the ultimate noob. He is an official noob.
That sounds
That's
like
it. You're done. Scrap your base and quit the game.
that sounds.
After the third offline attack,
Oh
he
my
had to
God.
coin all of his fucking air.
Oh, Jiminy.
And let's see. So at 59 seconds into the attack, he deployed his ground units, which had the Omega tanks. At 59 seconds, at 1 minute, all of them are dead.
It took 1 second, and they were all dead.
Sorry, the sixth one lasted 2 seconds. My bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, got people doing more commander for fun.
And look at the kids' level.
Hey, do you guys mind if I do a test? Me and Daba do a test real quick.
Go for it.
All right. So what I'm testing,
real quick.
I'm testing that question I just brought up about the zombifier.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Weaver in my base right now. He's got the zombifier, right? So Daba's going to deploy two tunes of buggies, right? So Daba, if you can, start your attack and just send one buggy forward and move the other one up north.
All right, am I not presenting anymore because I'm ending my screen share?
No, you're not presenting anymore.
Make sure I don't kill your buggies on accident here. I'm trying to avoid that. Are they deployed?
All right, I want to watch this.
It took me 12 seconds just before I could actually go full screen.
Okay.
All right, so let's turn off chats. All right, one is.
I got it.
Oh, no. Ah, shit.
I love hearing that when Champ Boy fucks up, he just starts yelling out, no.
That's always the best sound to hear when you're giving somebody a test in the base is no.
Pro tip, if you're running technicals in your base, please don't have them on aggressive.
Yeah. Now, I got a question.
Sorry about that. My bad.
Support turrets. Is the absorption turret worth upgrading, worth unlocking?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to know.
I've hit the absorption one, and I drop a juggernaut shell on the turret itself, and obviously it's going to hit the one that's right next to it. Well, the support turret dies, and then you got to launch another shell or something else to kill the actual turret that it's linked to. So it's really nice.
So let's say you had a railgun with a fusion and an absorption turret, and you launch a jug shell at it. Does that jug shell only kill the absorption turret, or does it also kill the fusion?
It should kill the fusion.
Yeah, in theory, it should kill the fusion.
All right, Daba, my tunes are on hold here.
All right, I'm deployed.
Okay.
Yeah, I see the
Are they both deployed or no?
Just the one.
Deploy both of them. Deploy both of them.
Okay.
But move one up to the north. Okay, yeah. So I just want to kill one.
Turn your UI back on so we can see if you.
So right now my buff is 0%. This is one of the attack ones. Let me see if it goes away now.
It does not.
Okay, that's all I wanted to find out. You can hit attack.
I would think that it wouldn't because
the zombie's considered last.
It's considered. Defender. Yeah, it's considered a last stand defender.
Yeah, that's something I had to test out. I was just curious about.
It's all good, and now we know.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. So now we have a definitive answer instead of saying, "Well, maybe."
So, there is there was an AMA question thread posted the other day in the forums, and Wrong Thinker's going ahead and answered all most. I think all, if not, well, most of them, if not all of them.
AMA is Ask Me Anything if anyone's curious.
It isn't Ask Me Anything.
And you guys did ask him almost anything on that thread. But thank you guys for commenting and giving a lot of good questions. And what's it? Kickside does actually look at
And
stuff.
Tweety, the record, I kicked you out of the Unshackled page, and you know why. That is all.
Now that I'm now that I'm on the inside, I can say Kickside actually does look at polls and feedback and stuff like that. So, like, just ask me anything and event stuff, surveys, and all that stuff.
They tell him to say that.
Right.
It's in the small print.
In Dobby's defense, he is correct. Kickside look at a lot of the data. It's all about data.
How did the defense waves get changed? The community went to the forums and Kickside took a look
Screamed
and
about it for hours on end.
days, actually. It wasn't no hours, it was days.
I was reading the forums that whole time, and I was just
You guys
like,
were
"Ooh."
Oh, shit.
I kept my 2 cents out because based on solely on the fact that they give you the option to skip it, and the only issue I had with that is when I would skip said defensive wave, I would sit there and wait for the 6 minutes to count down.
Mm-hmm.
That was annoying.
Well,
but other than that, you didn't have to do if the defense wave was too difficult for you, you didn't have to do it.
No, I skipped a lot of the defensive waves in the event.
Yeah, I did like the first 5 and then skipped the rest after that. I just said, no, I ain't messing with that. Fuck that noise.
So there's a lot of questions in this thread, and I'll try and gloss over them. I haven't read all of this thread myself, so otherwise I wouldn't be able to, compile the list of the good questions rather than the ridiculous ones we already know the answer to. So, is there a chance for legacy units to be reworked for the new meta of the game? The basic answer to that is the odds are pretty damn low, so probably not. And the reason to pursue the route rather than updating legacy units is that they need the play space of the game to not be too wide, as in too many units in the game in the current meta. Excuse me. When the play space is too wide, it gets muddy and causes difficulty and consistency issues elsewhere in the game, including in my fucking tech center. Can you unlock epic techs for the legacy units so now we can research and equip them? Even though it's tempting to do this, even with the old techs for a lot of the units are not even going to be close to what is necessary to play the game. While we don't want to provide players with false choices where they can spend time and effort to get something that ends up not being useful, unless we are very clear that we're spending that time and effort on is collector's content. For now, that focus is on the faction era. Can we condense the levels of special forces units from 40 to 30 to reduce the grind fest? I understand that some players really want to keep pushing on their SF units, and some of them absolutely still have uses. However, they are not in the current generation of our units, and our focus is absolutely on faction era stuff, so don't expect any changes to the SF content. Any plans to, in the future, for faction units, for a unit we can fully customize similar to the Hydra? And of course, we just got the technical, so in a way, it's exactly what he said there, is a kind of mini Hydra, except instead of burst area and sustain, you must pick anti-air, anti-ground, or generalist. A higher level of customization is great. Survivors, so you may see more like this in the future for them. For those still needing older Omega parts on units, is there any plan to put those bases back in? Though there are no immediate plans for this, it is certainly on the table. With the upcoming Nightmare mode, we do have older Omega parts available, including Jug and Herald. With each month, we usually have some opportunities to acquire older Elite or Omega parts as well. An update about the Mercs or the Mines and some of the older systems, blah, blah, blah. Reworks or Spec Ops. Mines are an example of the systems wanted to address, had different priorities. That said, still wants to see them improved and updated, so it's on the table, but nothing's going to get done for some time by the sounds of it. Any chance to update the res depots?
Yeah.
I just say fucking yank them and get it over with.
Take the depots off the map!
Yeah.
I agree
They're just a
wholeheartedly.
giant pain in the ass.
Imagine having like 5,000 or more free spots on the map for things to spawn.
Oh, that would be
It'd be
fantastic.
so awesome.
And get into
Or not
certain
just
places that are currently closed.
Oh man, it'd be so awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So, they recently started talks about the topic. One possibility is to remove them and clean up map space. Another possibility would give the owner and their owner's alliance mates a boost to infamy gained in PvP. We're still talking about different possibilities. Anything specific? Rebalance for all the turrets in the defense slab. We do plan to evaluate some turrets for the next balance update. We'll be looking at more of these in the following balance update. So yes, that's on the table by the looks of things. So that's legacy stuff, and that's all out of the way. Not a lot that really concerns the player base as a whole. It's just people asking for stuff, basically.
Yeah. Getting too greedy.
Well, collectors like that kind of thing. They like to have everything. Regarding support turrets, will we be getting more main turrets to make these things work right, as in to support the base rather than weaken the base layout? And the grand total of the answer to that is no. No plans to add additional turrets. Right now, support turrets are taking a ton of power to a base. Giving up a single avalanche to double the power of a rail launcher or a hunter missile is definitely increasing power, not a decrease.
Yep.
It's unfair that support turrets take up the use of a regular turret. Please change to self-standing support turrets or attached to turret that is supported to boost, and maybe limit on how many you make. That question barely makes any sense. If we made support turrets have their own special platforms, then all players would suddenly need to upgrade a ton of additional platforms, which would be a pain. Then also find the space for them in their base. Not easy for everyone.
Nope.
Don't want to add a ton to base progression, so instead these are only gated by the tech center without the need to build or upgrade other platforms. If we just allow players to equip them without requiring a turret, that causes a different problem. And suddenly every player needs as many as they can get their hands on, which is a different kind of grind that would make high-level players totally invincible, which would completely ruin PvP. As a result, they were designed to be strategic. You need to decide on how many standard platforms you want to give up. Some players will give up a bunch, and some will give up none. It's up to you.
Now, I had that exact same conversation with someone in my team not even an hour and a half ago. Could you imagine rolling up to someone's base who has a fusion on all 18 of their avalanches and their heavy platforms? You wouldn't need defenders because you would never ever bubble that base. You'd have to hit it like 80 freaking times.
Now, I'm going to use Champion as an example because Champ's got an extremely good base with an extremely good layout on what he does. If he had fusion turrets on every single one of his turrets, he would never need to use base defenders again, and the fucker would be invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
He would just sit there and just yell, "Come at me, bro."
The low levels.
I'm going to do that on my base. I'm going to change all mine.
Yeah, the low levels that complain about high levels hitting them would get hit even more because you wouldn't be able to hit somebody who's over level 45 or who has all these support turrets on every single one of their platforms. Like,
Nice.
that itself just does not make sense, and as to why someone would think for a second that would be a good idea.
It's one of those things. People want all of the shiny stuff, even though they have no idea what the actual balance of the game is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like begging for the nuclear codes and not knowing what the hell what would happen if you set them off.
Right.
It's
That's
like,
an
okay,
entirely different story. I would take the nuclear codes. I would hit the button, and I would be great, and I'd be in Fallout world for the rest of eternity.
you'd be like, oh, I want to press this button. I want to press this button. The cool people and the high rank people are pressing this button. I want to press it, and then they let you press it, and the fucking world ends. Like, people don't think about the consequences of what could happen if they gave us that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have to think about the consequences. I'm not morally, ethically viable to do that.
Like, I know for a fact if they gave us 18 or as many additional platforms, I would have every single one of my support turrets level 1, or the platforms would be level 1. I'd get the turrets maxed out, and I would rip my defenders out of my base, and you would never bubble me.
Jack O'Neill's got it right there. Fallout 5 War Commander. That'll do. That'll do. Give me the nuclear codes. I'll hit the fucking button. Screw you guys.
I'll do it before you.
Fuck off. Okay, back on the topic of will players get a chance to acquire blood thorium outside of Warpath? Yes, but it's too soon to talk precise details here. It is likely you will have another chance for more blood thorium in another Warpath before it becomes available through other avenues.
Okay, so that makes it sound like that probably won't take effect for at least 4 months. They wanted to do Warpath quarterly, didn't they?
Quarterly.
I think that's what they said.
Especially that came up when I posted my thread, particularly on Warpath.
Yeah, so that's every 3 months?
Yes.
Yes.
That's not bad.
So will the raid feature be looked at and adjusted? As it stands now, the payout is pretty useless, and it would be great if more members could take part, which we actually had a discussion about earlier on. I actually think Diamond Tech is pretty awesome, but I do think we went too far with the changes to war efforts. We'll be improving them soon. That's that one. Is there any possibility to add faction shifting units, meaning units that have no set faction and can align anyway, but are still considered faction units? Great question. No plans for it. When we create a unit, we try and hard to focus and make sure it fits its faction's playstyle. Maintaining those distinctions between factions is part of what gives them meaning for the time being. The only truly neutral units are the last stand defenders and drones from your silos, e.g. Yellow Jacket, Hornet, etc., etc. Can we have a sensible reduction in repair times for all unique units, as 16 hours for one unit is too long? Units that have repair time that long are our uniques. The units are immensely powerful when compared to other units. Generally, the units are a little easier to use than standard units, but if you mess up, they have a high cost. That's the nature of the beast. Having said that, we have just reduced building repair costs. Based on how that is received, unit repair pricing is also on the table. And I really think that should get done.
Yeah. Like, I see 8 hours for a Herald fully dead. That's fair. Like, that should be the top end. Like, your top end units fully dead should be 8 hours. That's perfectly reasonable. 18 hours is
ludicrous.
Absurd.
Hey, let's not even talk about the Legion, guys. Let's not even.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Legion.
I'm going to go and piss you all off. Because currently, the way the repair times stand, it is exactly what is stated. They are extremely powerful. Most people consider them OP, and as soon as the new Shadow Ops drops on the map, and you've got the brand new unit comes out, like the Jug did when it first came out, like the Herald did when it first came out, such as the Blackout is doing now, it's always stated as it's OP. And that's it.
I agree.
And to argue that point, we will revert back to the Legion.
Now, the Legion itself is a different ball game. It really is.
It itself is not overpowered anymore.
When it came out,
it was great.
Oh yeah, when it first came out,
now it sucks. It can't kill anything but buildings now. That's like literally put any unit. It can't kill anything at all.
I used to drop my Legion BK65 for quick thorium if I was doing something. I could do a couple of them and then recharge the clones for a couple of hours, and it would be jobs are good. Nowadays, that just isn't possible.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue that we have. Like, the Legion itself has become a useless unit for the most part.
Well, but it's also useless because they broke the drone tech.
Yeah, but
it barely worked.
And we're not going to see the Omega.
If I drop my clones into 65 and retreat the Legion itself, 2 clones will move forward, and 2 clones will sit there and do nothing.
Yep.
That's happened. There's been so many different bugs. I remember showing Skip a bug when I used to use them to clear out Iron Strike 60s. And there was a bug for a while where they would clear out all the offensive units
And do nothing else.
Then just stop. There could still be a whole bunch of buildings left in the base. They just stop. Be like, no, we're done.
Oh, yeah, that was an old bug.
Yeah, that one was annoying. But I mean, it's that, and then all the other bugs and glitches and exploits that came with the Legion. Why we'll never see an upgrade to it, like an Omega Legion, sadly.
Yep.
I mean,
but again, its repair time outside of the PvP turn is 30 plus hours.
Yeah, it's 1 day 6.
Yeah, 30
which
hours.
Is kind of ridiculous.
I learned that the hard way.
I learned that.
Me too.
I walked over two mines, and came out with like 20 hours repair, and I'm like,
Wow.
fuck.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, with the repair time thing, it could, across the board, have a reduction of some kind.
I think it's just mainly
It could.
unique. Like 8 to 12 hours for a unique, I think is pretty okay.
12 I could see.
Yeah.
Anything lower than that would make things spammable.
Yes.
And it's
16
longer in the game.
just stupid. 16 is way too long. And let alone it being 16 hours in a PvP turn, like a fucking Legion.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's still PvP air. And we still don't have it.
Yeah.
Yep.
PvP air would
That's
make it would be good, but it's like,
Short
Yeah.
question. Will Diamond Tech be available in the Gear Store or Event Store? No. No plans at this time. When you are going to allow us to launch 2 missile types at the same time? No plans.
Good.
Jesus Christ.
Is there a plan to change the sector XP bar that spawns sector bases during events? They don't spawn as much in quiet sectors. No plan change. We'll definitely look into it.
Yeah.
One some people don't like, but seriously, nerf the new technical unit. It's OP. Community split.
No.
Powerful.
Can I comment?
Defines it as OP.
Can I comment on that real quick?
Please do.
All right. Herald came out January, I want to say.
Something
And
like
people-
The Herald came out in March. The Herald started.
all right. Sorry, the campaign for Herald, I think, was January, and then I think it actually officially released in March. But anyways, ever since then, people have been saying it's been OP. Kixeye needs to release a counter. He needs to release a counter. Kixeye did it with released the Hades. They tried the Seekers. They were okay at killing it. Now they got the technicals, and as we said before, Kixeye does listen to feedback, and they gave us a Herald killer as we asked for, and we have it now. What's the issue? Kixeye's listening to us. Be careful what you wish for; you might actually get it.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had that for a long time.
You not only have a Herald killer, you also have a Jug killer at the same time.
At the same time, I personally, I don't think it's OP. I like the technical. What little bit I've played with it, I really like it. Now, is it going to suck when I take my Herald to a base and it's full of technicals? Yeah. Is it going to suck when I take my Jug to the base and it's full of technicals? Yeah, but then you got to try to learn a different way around that.
Yeah.
Technicals can be killed. You just got to know how to do it.
Exactly.
It's not. Nothing's impossible.
Nope.
But yeah. I mean that the base can be taken advantage easily offline. But if a player's online, that's where the real skill comes into play. If you can take a player's base. And,
who's fully defended with the technicals of both types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'll be a rough ride.
And Richard, I answer your question. The war rig is shit, so that's why everybody said it's shit.
No, it's not.
The war is better.
Yeah.
It's
better than it was, but it was
to have it. You've got to have
it was
you've
really
got to have
crap.
the war rig at elite or Omega for it to be of any use. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not spending 40 days to take it to level 20. And then I'm not spending another 3 months to take it to level 30.
Nope.
I always take I always take new Shadow Ops units into the Iron Strike 60, and I deploy from 7 o'clock. This is my standard of testing any unit, any Shadow Ops type unit, and I see if it can do the Iron Strike 60 on its own in the repair. And the War Rig did it, but it was 4 hours and some odd repair. And my standard is if it's under an hour, then it's a good unit, and I'll use it every day. The Blackout did it. Titan didn't do it. Sandstorm didn't do it. But I mean, Titan and Sandstorm aren't really attack units, or they're decoy units.
Support class.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. They're supporting units. The War Rig, it kills phalanx, but I haven't really found a good use for it aside from doing that. I mean, it's good in a base attack tune. Like if you're just sitting on the map, you got other stuff with it. You can kill stuff, kill air and ground and all that. But it's too much of a repair time. I can do it more efficiently with other units.
Well, Terry just said it straight out there in the YouTube chat. Technicals are susceptible to AoE.
Yeah, that they are.
They are very susceptible to AoE.
Bell Hunter found out the hard way that they don't like jug shots last night when him and Chant were fighting.
Yeah. So yeah, that goes to my point about online versus offline. You can take advantage of that so easy, but if players online, they're gonna be moving those tunes around if they're not,
Well, Fell was online.
Well, I'm talking about the defender, Daba.
If the defender's offline, you can probably do it with relative ease.
Well, no, if the player's online, right? The defender is online. He's going to be keeping those technicals moving.
Yeah.
He's not going to let them sit still. Or at least he should, unless he's a complete freaking idiot.
If he's online, he's going to kick your ass.
Bell was on when you hit him. Like online defending.
Well, no, I'm saying, Daba, you're missing my point. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Daba, he comes to my base. I'm offline, right? Just say I'm offline. Obviously, I can't move my technicals. So they're sitting fucking duck, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was explaining what happened last night. Not obviously, I know offline is better to hit than online. I was explaining what happened last night.
Oh God.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Are we good there?
Back to the questions.
Now? Back to the questions. Any plans on adding a viable meta-cane zombie faction because the plague effect is awesome? If I could unite 3 other factions under one common cause, the need for brains is a great and, frankly, in my opinion, the best end. They actually considered it. Controlling the zombies is both fun and distinct, especially when compared with the other factions. However, the theme and style of zombies just didn't feel like it fit War Commander all year round. Providing single-use zombies and the zombie missile was a fair compromise. Although the zombie missile is shit.
Yep.
Will our standard turrets ever get level 10 as their max level? The levels are all over the place, unlike command and heavy turrets. It's actually on the radar. In next month's balance update, we'll actually be looking at our heavy turrets. In the following balance update, we'll likely be reviewing some of the standard turrets, though that is not set in stone. Are we getting the level 10 Avalanche? We're still trying to decide if we release the 10th level to the Avalanche. With the rebalance of the Avalanche, we decided it may not be necessary, and we don't want to force it out if it wasn't. Do you guys want the 10th level?
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
If it comes out,
Like they say that they buffed the Avalanche. I haven't really noticed much of a change.
I have.
But I don't know. I personally don't care. I saw the prize list for the Nightmare coming out, so I'm not gonna bitch and complain and cry and beg for more stuff because 80% of the things that I asked for and that I want are coming out. So I'm a pretty happy player right now. I'm not gonna bitch and cry.
On a side note, regarding the prize list for Nightmare. Now, as far as the hero units go, any unit that has an expert level will be expert in the event store.
Woohoo!
If it doesn't have an expert level, it will be released at level 1.
That's specifically the VXP stuff.
That's specifically the VXP stuff. So if Godscope, I know you've been bitching about not having Jericho for the last year. So if you got Jericho from the event store, he will be expert Jericho.
Woohoo!
Go,
Yes,
baby.
doing his happy dance.
Well, and
Do you
that's what I assumed. Like, I got into a heated argument with a couple of my teammates last night because they said, well, in the prize list, it says
It doesn't state
Jericho.
the
It doesn't
expert
say
person
expert.
there.
And I was like,
That was
why would they?
stated as a comment by
Yeah, I was-
Rumfinger himself on a thread that asked specifically that question.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, why would they release, and especially for 500,000 XP, why would they release level 1 Jericho?
Right.
Why would they do that? I said, it's common sense that all the heroes that they listed are at expert level. And they're like,
Well,
no, that's
if they
not what
have
it
an
says.
expert.
That's not what it says. So thank you, Phil, for saying this on live.
I
Because
will
now I won 150 gold.
Woohoo!
Fuck
Share
you.
the
I
love.
will reiterate it once more. Any unit that has an expert level, as in level 40, which is Jericho, Dante, Balder, Dina, Pandora, and the like, including
What happened
Doran,
there? You dropped off.
will be level 40. I don't know.
But
why.
the XP stuff, so like not Tempest and stuff.
If it's VXP and it has an expert level and is in the event store, it will be expert level.
So it's
So to
all the
answer
heroes
Lady
except for
Warriors.
Jericho, Kara, and
All
Sheila.
of the heroes except for the
Or, I mean, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah,
Jeremiah.
Kara,
Kara.
Sheila,
and
yeah.
all of the tech, as in all of the tech for the hero units,
Is
in
available.
there.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Arc loader, rapid fire.
I even
Shredder,
noticed that they
Wingman.
had last year's Zombifier in there too.
Yes, they do. They've got both of them, both the ground and the air version.
So basically,
That's
for any player
dope.
that has not gotten Doran, Jericho, Dante, get them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Pandora.
Pandora.
Expert. If you do not have expert Jericho, the first 500,000 XP you get should be spent on him, and then the next million should be spent on his arc loader and his rapid fire. And if you did not buy the HH2 from the gear store, get that as well.
The HH2 is not in the gear store. It's not in the gear store, and it's not
It
in the
was.
event price list either.
It was in the gear store. I think
It
when they
was
did
in
the
the-
last update to the gear store, they took it back out.
Yes,
But
they
it
did.
was up there.
Oh, well.
50,000 medals, well spent if you
Shitty
got
luck.
it.
Yep, I have HH2. I'm gonna if I don't get 1 million XP, that's all I'll be happy with because
Yep.
I just need the Jericho.
I was saying, I mean, I heard players say that, well, I don't have the Jericho. What's the point of getting that? Get the tech. Even if you don't have the Jericho, get the tech.
Yeah.
Check your lists because there's a lot of people through other means of collecting tech were given the Jericho in random number generator. They were given Jericho tech even though they didn't have a Jericho. So you might actually have it hidden away and not realize it, or got it and never used it because you didn't have a Jericho, or given it in a purchase. You know, I'm not remembering quite frankly.
Best way to
possibly
find out
you
if
picked up
you
a
got
pack.
any of the Jericho tech, open up your Hellhounds in your workshop and look through, because 80% of the tech for Jericho is
It's been out there.
well,
Yeah.
with the
I don't
exception
have
of
rapid
his,
fire.
with the exception of his custom tech and his tactics. So rapid fire and arc loader will not be in your Hellhound schematic, but HH2 targeting will.
Yes.
And let's see. Yeah, I have the HH2 targeting on mine. I have charge ordnance on mine.
Take that off.
Off the Jerry?
You don't need
Yeah.
charge ordnance on a Jericho.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a
Charged
concussion
ordnance?
unit. He's not a shock unit. You can rather use the
Velocity
hate
round.
seeing-
Use the velocity
I-
rounds on that.
Yeah.
I hate seeing anyone have shock on a
Velocity.
fucking hero unit.
I think
I don't know.
I'm
Somebody told me to put it on there, so I don't
Well,
know.
back
No.
somebody is needing it.
well, it's,
yeah,
Shock on a
those
sustain
are-
unit.
yeah, you don't want charged ordnance on a burst fire unit.
No.
Okay.
It's
I
not
don't-
just that. You don't want it on a hero unit because you're diminishing their damage, which is the whole point of kind of using the hero units.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't remember. I mean, I've had Jericho for a while. I think I actually bought him. And you said velocity
I never
rounds.
did. I have been
There we
waiting
go.
a year for this. Well, I guess technically
Well-
I've been waiting like 8 months because there was a couple months after I came back to the game, they released them in a pack, but I couldn't afford to buy it. So I've been waiting about 8 months to get my hands on Expert Jericho, and I'm finally gonna do it.
I hope it glitches out and you can't buy it.
I will find you and I will cut you.
What, in your little pink tutu while you prance around?
Hey now.
He will find you.
No.
He will find you and he will make you kiss a koala bear, and then you'll be an arrow.
No, I'll
Okay.
just
All right, back to the list. We're going off the rails. Back to the list. Dr. Phil, pull it back.
I'm just a quick one. Dobber, I just got read through those PMs. What the fuck? Really? Somebody's already gone and done that?
Fear, check the side chat. Don't say it out loud. I don't want to get kicked off the show.
If you say it in the side chat, I'll kick you.
Kick him, do it now, do it now.
Phil, ignore the side chat.
Just don't read it, Doc. Just don't read it. Just read it.
Oh, what?
100% the best way to fuck with Fear.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but moving swiftly on.
Okay.
The questions that need to be answered. Any improvements for the go-go bar in the future? No, but apparently he likes ideas. I didn't even see a poll about that, so it's going to get brought up whatever the hell was talked about. Will features be added to player bases based on factions? We have the CC, but we get walls, turrets, bunkers, etc. Yes, work is underway, but a ship date is not concrete. More info in the next few months.
Wow.
Some cosmetics for our walls would be sweet.
Yeah.
It really
if they would all just switch over automatically.
Oh, it'd be so nice.
Switch.
You know what actually would be nice if they would give us slots so we can save a base design, so we can easily change to 3 different slots.
I'm surprised nobody asked about that.
You
Like base planet.
slots. I was like, oh well.
Yes, get your
not those.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say, don't forget about the Bastion bases. They're out today.
Yeah.
Good call.
Real quickly, Wrongthinker did mention something about base design possibilities. Nothing concrete, but it was something in the back of his thoughts.
Yeah.
So.
Was there a 4th faction coming out? For the time being, hold to 3 factions. Players have invested a lot in the faction choice, and each faction has a pretty solid suite of weaponry at this point. Doesn't mean we won't ever introduce a 4th faction, but the time is not now.
Thank God.
Good.
Yeah, 3 is plenty.
Yeah, because you know the next faction that comes out is going to be overpowered, and then everybody's going to pick it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with what we got right now for factions.
Me too. I think 3. I think 3's plenty enough. I don't think they even need to add a 4th one.
You need a 4th one.
And then finally, I don't want to say
the 4th
the B
one
word.
called the Immortals.
More units.
They're finally like relatively equal with the amount of like air and ground and stuff.
One called the Immortals.
Yeah. And it's only going to be mine, and only I can have it.
And they all have red hair, and they all look like you.
No, they should all be bald.
Well, they can have red beards, and they have Guy Fawkes masks.
Yeah.
Walk around holding a cigar in one hand and giving you the finger with the other.
That's their special tactic is the eat a bag of dicks.
No, the special.
Well, they rain floppy dildos from the sky.
If we're going to go down the special tactic route, I got to get 3. One's the eat a bag of dicks, the other one's drinking a beer, and the other one's smoking a blunt.
There you go.
There you go.
I haven't figured out what kind of
just a disclaimer: we do not encourage drug use or consumption of alcohol in this show.
No.
We
do
partake in our own personal
but
activities, and we do not encourage others to do so as well.
But
everybody is a product of their own free will.
The smoking a blunt one is just a giant plume of smoke goes over the screen and disorients and makes every one of the enemy characters giggle.
Yeah, they all sit down and start eating.
Well, if it's tea time, that is a British military tradition.
Oh, what they do is all sit down and start opening bags of Doritos.
I was just about to say, it's got its own hero unit. It's just a chip vendor.
Oh,
Or
okay.
open
Okay.
a bag of
back to
bag
the
of
list.
doodles for Golden Doodle.
Yes,
Bag of doodles.
it's a great.
I was watching one of the Wrong Thinker shows, and one of you guys go, "Oh, let me know when if Golden Doodle is able to come on the show. We'll have a bag of cheese doodles." And Wrong Thinker goes, "I would expect nothing less."
It would. Okay.
right,
Armored
all right.
platform 2-day upgrade times will ever be reduced to 5 seconds like the other world versions. Also, will there be an armored version for the heavy platforms? The first question, that's a possibility, but that inconsistency is a pain in the asterisk.
Yeah.
Your second question, there is no plans for that at the moment, but I'm not ruling it out. Even Wrong Thinker got diddled by the recent change to the forum, because I used to be able to swear and not get censored.
I'm just saying that's 4 asterisks and not 3. So I'm wondering what word he meant there.
It would be pain in the ass because
Yeah, it'd be
No,
pain.
that's pain in the butt because there's 4 of them.
no, I could say butt.
Yes, pain in the nuts.
No, it's a pain in the
Yes.
pain in the ass. But
It is-
because the
it
way
is pain
that
in
the
the
forum
You should go
works,
edit it.
Yeah, Dava, get on that.
editing a CM's post would get him into a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Pain in the rain.
Recommend that you would do that. Can you reduce replication times by 80% in Workshop 11? Jesus Christ.
Fuck that. If you're gonna go for the goal. 97%.
99.999998%.
I know, right? Make them instant.
No, you can't do free. You can't do free repair. You gotta have at least 1 minute repair. So
Yeah.
then you
Will
click
you
free.
evaluate replication feature in the workshop in the next not too distant future? Recently, you fixed some of the back end issues, so there will be a lot of things on the table. However, can't promise anything specific at this time. Definitely keep you posted. Will we ever see another catch-up event? Well, that's what Nightmare Mode is, isn't it?
I was about to say,
Nightmare-
look to tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, the upcoming Nightmare Mode should provide a really great opportunity for everyone to catch up. The new stuff is cosmetic, and the store has lots of
Now,
lots of items.
now, guys, in defense of the person that wrote that, these questions had to be submitted way before the Nightmare event was announced.
submitted on
So
Monday.
now, be nice.
It
Be
was submitted
nice.
on Monday.
Yes.
It was submitted on Monday, and Nightmare was announced on Wednesday.
Yeah. So the questions were out there before they announced that. So be nice to whoever that person is. Noob
Yeah,
they might
but
be.
the main event,
Leave them alone.
hold on.
Just
But the main
move
event
that
occurred
baby.
during this whole thing, and the main event prize list was obviously a catch-up list because everything in the kitchen sink's been in.
I got to ask a question. Was that your question, lady, by any chance?
Oh, hell no.
You were very defensive on
No,
that question.
I know.
No,
right?
no, lady has not had time to be on the forums to post any questions, and I wouldn't have posted such a noob question.
Her question would be,
That
okay,
question's
I have
almost
slot
noobish
A
enough
in my
to be asked by
IKEA.
KS Man of War.
My question would have been more like, what can I do about these noobs that keep talking about the dancing pole in my bedroom when they have not seen that pole yet? So that would be my question.
Wait, what?
What
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you
Go look at the post that I put out there showing my new desk setup and all of the nice little comments about the poles and the midgets,
We just finished.
pricks.
All right,
Shadow
back
the one who mentioned the
on.
midgets.
Shut up, Godscope.
Yeah, shut up, Godscope.
Can more
all right.
features be added to
Sorry,
the
Doc.
base banner?
Sorry, Doc. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Slash building comes to mind, which he has talked about a couple of times on the show. What he does want to see improvements to the base planner, but we haven't been able to bubble that to the top of the priority list. So yes, but no. Any plans on making the workshop a bit cleaner to make it much easier to find a custom unit, like removing components and schematics for rarely used units? Yes, though we don't have a precise timetable. We know the workshop is a total pain in the ass.
But
Some of the things on the table include better organization, improved performance, updating replication, and more. How would you like to see them prioritized? Would you like to see anything else for the workshop?
Free tech.
Is Shadow actually in the chat? Because that wasn't me. And somebody's on Unshackled
No,
right
that's me.
God damn it.
Hey, I didn't decide.
That's a
to
happy
put-
coincidence there.
That was funny. Venom.
That's got to be for how he's talking about the midgets. That's got to be Shadow Killer.
No.
Nope. It's Venom.
It was Venom.
I didn't choose to be in there. I can go refresh.
I didn't choose to be in there. No, you didn't.
Not as that.
I didn't choose the Unshackled Life. The Unshackled Life chose me.
No, the Unshackled Life doesn't choose you. It grabs you by the balls.
What if you're a girl?
It grabs you by the lady balls.
Caitlyn Jenner.
I couldn't read.
Caitlyn Jenner classified as a lady, so you know.
It grabbed me by something, but I'm not going to say what. And
by the balls, the ladies by the fallopian.
Next question. What is that?
Yes.
When in battle, the list of units takes up too much space. Can a cleaner version of this be added? In general. Anyway, go ahead.
Too much space. Can a cleaner version of this be added? In general, a lot of UI improvements we're considering. Shut the fuck up. This is on the list, but the workshop is higher on the list.
Good.
A lot of work going on in the background to try and even up the game, but it seems the focus on the lower level players trying to gain better units or bases. When will something be done for the higher level players that have spent years and lots of coin playing the game? So far, I've seen no improvements for the level 40 plus players. A lot of the content is generally geared towards higher level players, like support turrets, omega units, training tokens are all more readily available to the higher level group of players. Now, I think I remember who posted that fucking question, and that guy is a moron. Because focusing solely on the higher level player is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Every new piece of content that comes out is geared towards the high level player to go and collect as much of as possible. Like 50 technicals, or 100 technicals, or getting the 50 million XP, or something stupid like that to get all of the training tokens and have the technicals at level 20 before the event's even over.
Yep.
That's the kind of player that posted that question. Because those kind of players rush through all the content in the first couple of days and then sit back and complain that they're bored for a month.
That's their own downfall.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that they're trying to give the lower level players a little bit of a break because, you know, without the lower level players, we won't have, there won't be a game. Because us high level players supporting us every day. Targets. Well, that's true. Because Godscope can't hit anything that ain't offline and under 20, but that's beside the point.
How many years have we been? How many years have we been on the shows asking Kickside to make stuff better for medium and lower levels? And with all the coin packages and stuff, even like these Ryukai 50 bases, they use the older units, and so like if you had a tune of maybe 10, 20 libs, you could have probably muddled through that base, and that's not unreasonable for a medium level to have. Exactly. Even one Purifier and a Vindicator could have probably done that base, and so it's nice to see that Kicksai's reconsidering all these, not reconsidering as bad word, but putting more content out that is attainable by the lower and medium levels. I wouldn't quite say they're at the lower yet, like 20 and under, even 30 and under, but
20 and under of that thing. They at the most of the stuff available is geared towards high 30, low 40.
Yeah.
But let's say you are let's say a level 22 and you coin. Like you don't coin a ton, like you don't spend $100 a month, but it's nothing, like it's not a big deal if a pack comes out with, like, we'll use those 5 Furies, 5 Valiants, 5 Bone Saws for $15. It's nothing to you. You buy that. They're all pre-built. As a level 22, that is a hell of a boost. Like, that's going to help you out a lot.
Yeah, especially when they're pre-built.
So with them having these... Yeah, it's them having these pre-built packages that are... Yeah, like these pre-built packages with the units that are a relatively decent price. Like I'm talking 99 gold to 199 gold, something that's not too absolutely fucking insane. Those help out low levels who aren't afraid to spend $20 to benefit them for the next couple months or so until they level up, and then they get the next thing that they need to work on, and then they level that up and keep going like that.
Yeah, and it also helps with those without Kixeye assistance to get that $50 quota in, or the 50 gold coin quota in, so they can get the
support.
Yeah, well, I can't say support, but you know, that service.
Access.
Yeah.
The ability to send a ticket and be ignored for 4 days.
I mean, look, Data's been out of the game for what, 2 years, something like that, and he's able to be self-sustaining for a good portion of the beginning of the event. He can get.
Data's never out of the game. It's in his blood. He knows this thing inside and out.
He was secretly playing for those 2 years. He wasn't away. He was secretly playing and watching the shows and all that.
He was just waiting. He was waiting for the game to ascend to a level that was equal to his skill level. He just had to wait for Kixeye to catch up to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's so far ahead. He was so far ahead 2 years ago. He was just like, all right, I'm bored and let everyone else catch up to me.
Can we get better patch notes? All right.
What the hell's that question?
Yeah.
So what are they? So what are they asking? I guess, do they want to know exactly what they patched in detail?
Do they
in between?
Well,
in between fixing this issue, I took 3 bowel movements and had 2 glasses of water. Like, what more do you want in the patch notes?
No, but
we had something where it was. What was it? We got numbers on our tech in the gear store. We got numbers on our tech in the event store, and we got numbers somewhere else where like it shows how much you. Oh, in the workshop, it shows you. Workshop always did, but like the event store and the gear store, they got numbers now showing you how much tech, and then I guess players would like all that stuff in the patch notes as well. We did ask Wrong Thinker for a more detailed thing on one of the shows. I just rewatched it, and he was like, "Well, yeah, you can't put every little detail in there because you'd have like 5 miles long."
Yeah, you certainly couldn't put every nuance. But when they patch something, I mean, I this is my assumption. I would think that the person who asked this question was saying like, okay, they patched a glitch involving this tech. What would be nice is they ran down what the glitch was doing. Like this tech, every time you attempted to equip it, it was giving you a red box error and then list the error codes. And we have subsequently gone through and fixed this issue.
I'm going to put a stamp on that one immediately.
Something like that would be nice because...
Something like that would be nice, but the only downside to doing that is it allows people who don't play the game legitimately to know what kind of security holes are there.
Okay. I can give you that, yes, but it also allows people who were suffering from this, who didn't realize they were suffering from it, would now know what this was. That okay, it wasn't just my crappy service, it wasn't my internet. Legitimately, there was something going on wrong there, and I was suffering through it. And now I have the peace of mind knowing that I wasn't alone.
Have to admit there's a problem, and Kixeye don't like doing that.
But they don't have to admit it. They're in a roundabout way.
If they put it in the patch notes in that kind of extended detail,
that's not extended detail. It's basically saying, okay, I go to equip my Jericho tech, since we were talking about it tonight. I equip my arc loader, and every time I go to equip it onto the expert Jericho, I get red box error 221 blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so patch note comes up and it says in the fix notes, fixed. Red box 221 error to Jericho equipping tech fixed, rather than Jericho tech fixed. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a way of saying, okay, that was what was occurring. It's not explaining how it was fixed. It's just explaining that was the issue, and
they'll be asking for all the fucking strings of code next.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I'm not that kind of person, so I go. I'm just interested. I'm not devious like you guys. But I can agree.
I'm not devious.
I can totally give you the absolute credit where yes, it would expose where the loopholes were, so that people would then focus more on that kind of thing to try to do a delegitimate way of playing the game, and that I don't agree with either. So I can agree with that.
Right. So back on to the we're a good portion through this. We're almost near the end of the list, actually. So for gameplay clarifications, what is the reason intel bases do not spawn during the event, and will the 6-hour boost be changed to a larger amount of time? To the first question, we've definitely contemplated allowing intel bases during the event. but the damn map is crowded.
Yep.
That's the reason we've steered clear of that in the past. To your second question, we've talked about this quite a bit internally. While we redid raid bases, we increased the magnitude of war effort significantly, but decreased the duration significantly. We have concluded that we pushed the duration too low, which we said during that update. We will be increasing the war efforts to a longer duration, but it will definitely not be going back to a full week because we want to keep that higher magnitude. We'll have more details soon.
Just to comment on that, if you remove the depots, you got way more space. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what I sort of wish I would like to see them happen is when it's time to drop the event bases that they make. Okay, you know, the 6 tunes around your base, okay. But the 25 deep tunes, make that go away. I had the hardest time this, you know, a limited time that I had, but I had the hardest time. Every time I would try to go for a base, it was smack in the middle of a 25 deep, you know, platoons surrounding this player. And it's like, we don't need that. I wish there was a way that they could make that go away. Keep the 6 around your base, but other than that, you know what? Pull the rest off the map. If you're in a ward zone during the event, oh, that's on you.
That's always the thing.
You know, I mean,
I'm not entirely sure why you want the sickle cell 40s to come back because they were rare as hell back then.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a mission for newer players that say you need to do the Sickle Syndicate in order to unlock your thing, and I guess they want that to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's a thing. But when you get tokens for the units that are already level 20, are these banked for all the time you raise them all again? It seems like everything is going to level 40. Standard units will not be going to level 40. That is stated as an absolute. And Kixeye don't speak in absolutes unless they know 100% that that's a thing. However, the extra tokens you earn are banked. There will be a use for them in the future. More details coming in the coming months. The Night Owl has 4 slots for tech. To date, there has been no release for this tech. Why? The Night Owl's command was accidentally released a long, long time ago. I regret this, as it gave the impression we had tech planned when we did not. So no plans for Night Owl tech at this time. Apologies for the confusion. That's a different explanation to the one I've had in the past. But, okay.
But can't they not remove that?
Once it's in, they could remove it, but it might cause some issues.
Yeah.
Could we have a little elaboration on fire damage? The rule of thumb is that the fire tech increases the base damage of the unit against zombies by 6 times. So if you're going up against zombies with fire tech stuff, your unit is doing 6 times the damage that it does at the base.
And something that Wrong Thinker pointed out on one of the shows, you want to be using the fire stuff from the Ryu Kai bases, and not
modern,
so much the older
modern
stuff.
fire tech. Yeah, you want to use the more.
You want to be using the modern stuff.
Mm-hmm. So Godscope's avalanches are still going to suck. Not avalanches, I mean napalms.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, see, now we have a reason why they suck, because they're old fire and not new fire.
They're more like placeholders until I get
Thank
my
you, Wrong Thinker, for that explanation. I mean, we all knew they sucked anyways, but now we have an
What was that? That was the quietest little comeback I've ever heard, Godscope. What did you say?
Huh?
I said right now they're just placeholders until I get my support turrets unlocked.
They're not unlocked yet? Gosh, you're way behind, and I was offline for a month, and mine are going to level whatever they are, 3 or 4 or something.
My defense lab was level 14. I stopped it when I could get my hunters to level 15, I think.
No blood.
I stopped the upgrades, so when the support turrets came out, I had to take them from like 15 to 21. And I'm like a day and a half away from 21 now.
Dude, your defense lab gives you a defensive bonus. I think
I didn't care.
I'm not sure. I think my defense lab is 1 or 2 levels from max again. I just started another level today.
Some people seem afraid the technical unit will be the be-all and end-all to air/heralds. Any comments? Is the technical unit good against the Herald? Yes. Is it the end of the Herald? No. Is it the end of solo heralding every single base in the game? Maybe. Keep in mind that not every single base will be full of AA technicals. All the things in the game eventually have counters, but these won't appear in every base. What gives a commander strength isn't having a single-use super weapon. It's having a diverse array of forces in your arsenal and knowing when and how to use them, as we said earlier.
I want to see if I can steal that quote and put it in my forum signature, because that is basically War Commander described right there. It's not one unit, it's a collection of all your units used together that makes you a good player.
And that's why people are juggernauting the Highway 90 bases. I do it with Titan and a Jericho.
There's people that crying at the base.
Crazy.
And that's why Data King can kick all of our asses, because he knows how to use all of them. Even
people like
Buddies.
People like City, he uses normal units to do stuff that we do with Omega units. And that's what makes me impressed by him, that he's able to do the... You just tell him, like, I could probably say, hey, take this HZ90 with, like, riflemen and hovers, and he probably would find a way to do it.
Yep. He might get his ass kicked doing it, but he would try.
No,
I wish he'd come on the show. I really wish he would.
Probably sit there and micro heal every single one of them for like an hour-long attack and be like, yep, I did it.
Yeah, he might.
I have seen you, i.e. Wrong Thinker, on Unshackled recently. Would you or the Kickside team consider doing your own live stream? I know where that question came from, which is highly amusing. We have talked about the idea of doing our own show from time to time. If enough people want it, it is something that we may pursue. Now, Wrong Thinker comes on Unshackled because Unshackled is currently the best place for information and disperse information to the rest of the community. Now, on the other side of that, Swag, who was the CM for all of the games for a while, then was a CM for War Commander, then left the company, went to Rogue Assault, and then left the company again, did Twitch streams a lot. And if they decide to do that, that's fine by me. But as I said from the beginning, when we had Wrong Thinker on for the first time, and even prior to that, there's always a space for him to come on Unshackled when and if he wants to talk about something, or put something on, or put some information out there that... Or he just comes on to basically bullshit and we can ask him a bunch of questions, like we've done before.
Yep.
And we will probably do it again.
Yep, the last show he was just like, I'm here, do whatever you want.
Yeah. I like him. I like him a lot. I really do. And I like CM Chris. It's a shame. I mean, I don't know how, what is it, Golden Doodle? I don't know how he's going to be, but CM Chris is really, he's really not.
Yep.
He's really,
I like how Chris and Wrong Thinker just shut trolls down with their stupid comments.
Yep.
It's the best thing ever.
Yep. Those notes lately that every time I see a good one, I take a screen clip and post it up on the page, because some of them have been absolutely hilarious. Chris had a real funny burn the other day on one guy.
Oh yeah.
And I'll go find it and share it up in a minute. But
he said he can't comment, or he doesn't like to comment on stuff that like it can be solved by gameplay. Like he said,
something along those lines. What was it?
Kickside provides the rails, and it's up to the players to drive the train.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I know it's there.
It's there somewhere. I've got
here it is. Here it is. Yep. Let's see. Right Thinker. Oh, nice. An actual update or kind of response. Hey, CM Chris, I want to know if I click defend, will it be attrition based where I can eventually wear down the attacking force? Am I just fucked? Kind of an end of an event kind of deal. Enemy force will be replenished and full. You cannot wear them down over time. As a heads up, since you seem to be getting a little frustrated, I typically don't answer questions that can be answered by playing the game. We provide the rails. It's up to you to drive the train.
Smack.
I mean, that's... that was like smacked right in the face and across the room. I loved it.
There have been
if he replies, if he were to reply to a comment I made like that, if I was upset and I said something like that and asked that question, not thinking clearly, and that was the response I got from the community manager, my respect for him would go through the roof. Because he had the balls to say what was on his mind. He didn't have to sugarcoat it.
Exactly.
It goes,
and that is something that I really respect.
It goes the same with another thread that was around it was something about like kick size and hypocrisy and a few other things about the use of profanity during the event in the little side boxes. And Wrong Thinker popped up on this one. I mean, I just about rolled on the floor laughing at it. And
that's the one I liked.
Wrong Thinker just said straight out of the gate, just to be super clear, we do not direct abusing language at players, in brackets, or each other, end brackets, but some of the characters in the game do swear. To put it another way, if you go and see an R-rated movie, characters in the movie might swear, but you're not allowed to swear at all your fellow moviegoers.
Yep.
Man, when I saw that, I was like, oh, well, there goes the end of me getting 50 gold at the start of every damn event.
Yep.
It adds more character, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it does.
It goes back to last year. I mean, I've only ever heard Kixeye during their event videos drop an F-bomb a couple of times. And it was only ever done by Swag on a few occasions, but it was never done ridiculously long. And when I think last year's zombie event was one of the first times I'd actually heard Wrong Thinker's voice properly before he'd gone on the shows and started doing whatever he does now with the voiceover stuff. And it was fire. Zombies fucking hate fire. And it just, wait a minute, I had to listen to that a couple of times just to make sure I wasn't going bonkers and hearing stuff.
You're looking at the blunt and you're like, was this just weed or what?
Did somebody give me some really funny shit? Am I hearing things again? Let's get back on the meds. Whoops.
Well, look, even at the original game, the characters, when you would open up the voices, there were some salty terminologies used.
Yes, there was.
The characters. So I mean, I'm trying to wean back all the early comments that were R-rated back to some PG shit, and then I'll fucking go off on a tangent later.
Yeah. So what do you think the best unit in the game is beside the ones we got from Ops? So ignoring uniques and heroes, he likes the Furies and Apollo combo. See? He likes Apollos, so...
And I love my Furies.
For ground units, a blend of Liberators or Technicals and Hammers are a favorite unit set. And of course... Is
he secretly hinting that we should all be going Survivors now?
Well, Fury and Apollo is cool.
No, for the ground stuff.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
He's got 3 there, but only 2 Corpus. So is he secretly telling us that Survivor's the way to go?
The last question down there is
don't
my
go Survivors. Don't go Survivors. It totally sucks. I'm just throwing that out there.
The last question down there is my favorite one, and I'm biased because I put that in there for funnies. I did. It's my question. It wasn't to do with the game. I just wanted to put something out there. It wasn't AMA. It's Ask Me Anything. It didn't have to be game related, so I put it in there. And he answered it, and I'm really happy. I've never drank that beer, but I will go and hunt for some.
Devil's Canyon Full Bore? Blech.
I've never drank that. And I'm a beer snob. I've drank a lot of beers.
Do you raise your pinky when you do?
No.
That's only when he drinks his tea.
I don't drink tea.
Or coffee.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted. It was an Englishman that didn't drink tea. I was like, wait, what is this?
Because you were brought up on stereotypical, nonsensical bullshit.
I was born in America. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Tea and crumpets.
Well,
exactly.
That wasn't difficult.
No, I don't drink.
We drink in America. We drink fried beer. Slathered in mayonnaise.
Since we're on this subject, Godscope, you're a fucking idiot, man. Dude,
Okay.
Hold on.
Where is this going?
dude,
Not only is he an idiot, he's a sissy girl.
there is nothing wrong with a dude drinking a margarita, man. Are you fucking crazy, man?
Dude,
Who the fuck are you, James Bond?
No, there's a lot. No, Bond drank martinis. Yeah, no, a margarita is a chick drink. You might as well be fucking sucking down short temples. Margaritas. What do margaritas? Margaritas. Get girls.
You obviously.
Margaritas is not my chick drink.
It's not even a chick drink.
Nope, not at all. I know lots of guys that drink margaritas.
Margaritas are a chick drink.
Are they all gay?
No.
I was about to say, do they all wear rainbow shirts?
Actually, no, the guys I know are all bikers and married. So there you go.
So
well, that's the thing. So they're married, so they're already been castrated.
Well, maybe that's it. I'm not married, so I wouldn't know about that stuff.
Well, yeah, just take a trip to Mexico or something. I don't know what to say to you guys, man.
That's my favorite start to a sentence. Is on that note, Godscope, you're a fucking idiot.
I love it. I love it.
I was like, I since I heard that, I was like, you have my attention. Let's see what this loving fan has to say.
So has anybody got any War Commander related questions before we go ahead and wrap this up, before we get on the alcohol?
I don't see anything inside chat.
Base planner, when are we getting it?
It was in there. It's on the table. Nothing so far.
Nah.
Right.
That'd be sweet.
It would. Anything else?
It doesn't have to be anything super drastic. Like even just like a mirror flip. You press the button and it flips your base. Like it just
Top down
mirror
view
image.
would be nice. No, a top down view as opposed to the 3-dimensional skew view or false 3-dimensional view would be nice, because then you could really look down and see that your walls are gapped evenly.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Let's see. Kickside. Somebody said something. Somebody said something about gold.
I just want to make a comment about the Furies. They're becoming my new fucking Air Jericho, man.
Oh man, yeah.
They are badass. I love my Furies.
Yeah, me too. Furies and mixed together. Too. Oh, no, I'm not real fond of the Valiants.
I'll tell you this: go into a VK65, pop out them hunters with whatever you need to do, and make sure that they have as many of those thorium-infused howlers as you possibly can. Deploy your O-Titan, and then deploy your Valiants. Put your O-Titan on Fist, and use your Valiants to kill those thorium-infused units. Watch how fast they die.
So
the thing is...
Now what level are your Valiants?
Mine are level 12.
Let me see what mine are.
Mine are level 1.
I honestly do not know.
The sector's not being blown up by a giant thorium bomb like it was in March, April, May-ish. So it'd be interesting if they actually did do the thorium things again. Because there's no reason
they have them in the thorium right now.
Huh.
Yeah, they have the thorium-infused units in the thorium bases right now.
I know, but I was saying, like, for the event, I'd be surprised if they actually did the thorium stuff. Yeah, there's thorium stuff in the...
Can someone present me for a second before we finish the...
thorium stuff.
The A-man.
And then even for PvP, Valiants rip apart Hades. They have very good health, so they can tank if you need to. They're cheap repair time. They're only 45 minutes to repair one if it's fully dead. And they do very well against phalanxes and technicals.
How
like they are I thought they were an absolute garbage unit, and then I just had nothing else to upgrade in my air, so I upgraded them to 10, got them to 12, and I thought for shits and giggles I'll use them. So I teched them out a little bit and started using them. I love them. I got 6 of them in my air.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Is how I think I've built 3.
Valiants destroy vehicles.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, mine are 12 as well.
They're not so great against floaters or like air stuff, but they destroy ground vehicles and stuff. with those rockets that they have.
Yeah.
On the VK, not the VK, the HZ90, I put my Titan, Sandstorm, and Blackout on, and some Furies and Bonesaws on the two Bighorns that come out, the tanks, and they make it all the way back to my Jericho, and I actually have to move my Jericho. Now, when I use Valiants instead of Furies and Bonesaws, then they don't make it to my Jericho. They die too quick. So, yeah, the Valiants are definitely a great asset. I mean, I used to think they were trash, but yeah,
Peel,
like
what do you
God's
think?
It's not about it's funny. I found a really interesting video. Can you present me for a sec?
No.
Oh, come on, you
After
will
show.
love it. You will
After
love
show.
it.
You can post it in the after show, but it's not going out live. So if that's all of the things for this evening, somebody posted something about support turrets, but that's a story for another day. We've been going for almost 2 hours. I want to wrap this up. And we'll go ahead and throw some shout-outs out there. We'll start with Dobber Phoenix and Peel. If you think about sharing the video, I'll kick you.
Oh, come on. I just wanted to show it so that you would see it, and then you would let me show it.
No.
It's about Gobscope.
No.
Oh,
After show.
well, maybe we could do this. You're fine.
Dobber,
Sorry, YouTube.
It better not be what I think it is.
Anyway.
shout-outs, Dobber, please.
Okay, yeah. So shout out to everyone in YouTube land that is watching this, will watch this, and everything like that. Shout out to Kixeye for reopening the Intel bases. And shout out
Taking them away.
Huh?
They took them away.
No, they're back live.
Are they back?
I got permission to speak freely that they are back again.
Oh,
So,
good.
I won't be losing my right pinky for this one. Shout out to Kixeye for actually like watching the forum polls and all that stuff and changing the defense waves and everything. Hopefully Kixeye watches this, and while we're on the topic of Kixeye, Wrong Thinker, thank you for spending so much time and putting detail and everything, and whoever else went into this AMA, Ask Me Anything. And it's nice that you did this, and it'd be nice to see you do more of these in the future. Because it's great to see like great communication. And as to the community, everyone go out and comment on that. There's a bunch of questions that Wrong Thinker asked on that poll, so make sure you do that. Make sure you follow forum rules, so this way you can be nice on the forums. Shout out to Sector, what are we in, 116, and everyone there.
Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Dutch, have you got any shout-outs, my man?
Yeah, shout out to you, Phil, for putting up the show. Shout out to the panel on YouTube. And yeah, I want to give a shout out to Kixeye, because if it wasn't for Kixeye, we wouldn't be able to play this wonderful game that keeps us from the speed. So yeah, let's do a shout out for Kixeye for once.
Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Peel, have you got any shout-outs?
Shout out to Godscope for enduring, and have fun later.
All right.
What's that supposed to mean?
He's so deflated. He's defeated by.
Godscope, shout-outs.
Shout out to Kixeye for answering thousands and thousands of people's requests on putting certain items into the upcoming Nightmares event store. I have nothing to bitch about. It's a rare occasion. I'm a happy player now. And shout out to the panel for letting me come on. Shout out to Darth Vader breathing into his mic. And shout out to everybody watching.
Dr. Darth Vader.
I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be a part of Unshackled. People come here, and I've noticed them coming to me, like in my alliance. Like I have many people that watch this. They come to me for tips on everything, and it feels great to be a part of a group where we can help in any way we possibly can.
That speech sounds rehearsed. I'm suspicious.
I tried as hard as I could not to study that.
I feel sorry for the people that went to Godscope for help.
I knew it. I knew somebody was going to say it. I knew it.
Burn.
Fear, I can't wait to flatten you.
In the words of Godscope, during the event, feelings.
Hey, Godscope, can you help me with my butt hurt skills, please?
Your butthole skills.
Oh God! It's going off the rails again.
Go
Next.
drink another
Keep the show
margarita,
clean.
you girl.
Shout out, buddy.
I just once said martini.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. Shout out to the assholes in the sector I'm in. Thanks for having me. What else? Shout out to
you're in my sector too?
Oh no.
Wrong answer.
No. Shout out to Kickside. It was a good move by them to bring back those units and all the old stuff. Gives people a chance to catch up and all that, So good move. So
excellent.
That's fun.
Okay, Jack, you've got any shout outs, man?
Yeah, shout out to you, Doc, for hosting the show and the panel, YouTube, assholes, rave, and I want to give a special shout out to Sarah. That's her game name. She's an asshole admin. Really awesome player, real big fan of the show. Hope you're listening. Have a great event.
Excellent. King said he doesn't have any shout outs and he's probably out there getting drunk, so I'll skip over him and go straight to Lady Warrior.
Oh, shout out to the panel. Shout out to Kixeye. As Godscope said, we're happy players. They're giving us some nice tech and units that we couldn't get before, and so we're going to be happy we can get those now. Shout out to all my homies in 115. Love you guys. Shout out to you, Dr. Phil, for hosting this. And just because I can, shut the fuck up, champ.
Where the hell? Oh, I know who that's.
I'm sorry. I was channeling someone for a moment. I don't know how that happened.
Lionel, someone got your shout outs.
I'm done.
Lionel. Oh, you're talking to me. All right. Shout out to my wife and her brother-in-law sitting over there having dinner while I'm sitting here at the coffee table talking to y'all. Shout out to Dr. Phil for putting on this show. I'll go back and watch the beginnings. It's always great for supporting us and putting up with our crazy antics. Way to go for Kickside. This is an awesome looking event structure and event list. So I'm happy to participate again. So good luck to everybody. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, the final words from me for this evening are, yes, there will be a live event show tomorrow. That will be 1 p.m. Eastern. That will be 6 p.m. GMT. Excuse me. That's the beer coming back. Yeah, it'll be 6 p.m. GMT when the event starts. So we'll probably hit it at about 5:30, which will be 12:30 Eastern. 9:30 Pacific, maybe. I think.
What do you? Now you're going from Eastern to Pacific, so subtract 3 hours.
Yeah, 9:30 Pacific.
11, 10.
We'll kick it off about between 30 and 15 minutes before the start of the event. Of course, for the guys over across the pond in sort of Dutch's time, it'll be 7 o'clock. For him. Let's see. Anything else I need to bring up there specifically? No. Okay. So, of course, shout out to Kickside for doing exactly what we wanted them to do. We've asked for a bunch of shit for a very long time. We gave them a lot of crap for the privilege, and now we're getting what we're getting tomorrow during Nightmare Resurrection. So with that, and from me and from the panel this evening, of course, we will see you tomorrow evening or tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I want to thank YouTube and, of course, thank my panel for this evening. Dobber, Dutch, Fear the Peel, Godscope, Champ, Jack, King, Lady Warrior, Venom, Wolfie, and who else? Who else did I bloody lose? I lost someone right at the start, and I can't remember who it was. So fuck you. Godscope just got out. So.
Wolfie?
I know Wolfie was in here, and Wolfie got out. So I want to thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.